Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 12th and final episode of Isekai Quartet. It's really sad to say that because I do very much enjoy this show, so it's not a good thing for it to end. But anyway, last episode we had our field day that we had been talking about. We had 3 classes participating, although really it was just 2 classes participating. Yun, she was there, but I mean, she was there just being sad and lonely, the usual with her character. Megumin just being way too savage on her, just felt so bad for that girl. But anyway, the field day ended with the Destroyer showing up from the Konosuba universe, so I mean, that thing was pretty scary in Konosuba, but here we have a lot of powerful people, so it shouldn't be that it shouldn't be that hard to take care of this, but I guess we'll see. So let's get into it and find out how this goes. 3, 2, 1, play. That is what it is. It's really popular with the children, but everyone else aren't. Yeah. I don't think you can ignore that thing. Oh, are you serious? Well, I guess we can't ignore it after all. Well, who wants to go for that one's headband? Okay, yeah, it's a competition now. Well, you always live up to expectations, Pandora's actor. Well, I guess we have a bunch of other ones now. Oh. Well. Yeah, never give up, never surrender. Well, you'll steal something. I guess we'll see what it is. But you have a very interesting track record with that ability, so yeah, there's nothing of value to steal from them. Yeah, that's his one good thing, supposedly. Oh. Well, thanks for telling me that now. We should test that, see if we can still do that. This just hardly seems fair at all. Ooh. Ice and stone. Oh. It's not a bad idea. Of course. Of course. I mean, what else would you possibly suggest? It's a good point. Wow, really? What an excuse. He has a lot of them, so who knows? Well, well. Okay. He'll need it because he no longer has it, I guess. We could throw rocks at it. Tanya, do you want to let me some harsh words towards it? Well, yeah, of course. Oh no. That's so weird. That thing having a headband at all. Makes it so much harder to take seriously. Yeah, who do you think I am, Tanya? I I got a lot of power in my book. Yeah, that's the real title there, the real accomplishment. Okay, we actually pushed it back. Okay, ladies, keep it together back there. Yeah, no one needed for honorifics with our relationship, I guess. So, group hug time? He's gonna throw them, isn't he? Well, at least one of them's pretty light. Okay, now it's time for Undead Summon. Skeletons don't look very intimidating at all, but... Oh, well... In fact, they almost look like undead from, like, Paper Mario. Okay, well, good thing Tanya can fly. Well, just don't get hit. It's not that hard. This music, just... Neither do you. Well, that is... Yeah, for most people that would be the normal. Yeah, not that anybody knows how much I suffer. That's the right attitude, Subaru. Let's see what you got. Not to brag or anything. I don't think I've ever seen, like, a cavalry battle quite like this before. Yeah. And here we go. Yeah, so I guess that was the point of that, to summon them. Oh. Then it makes an adequate shield, I guess. That fall would still be quite painful. Unless you get caught. There we go. It's all good. Wow, really? Can you really snipe those with a freaking slingshot? The way he says it. Wow, it took a long time to get to that sentence. And Kazuma is used to having, you know, young girls on his back because of Megumin, so he's kind of in his element here. Yeah, Tanya not exactly super lucky in her show. Oof. Well then. Guess it's time to not die. Don't worry, I'm sure somebody will catch you too. Oh. Oh, okay. He stole a single screw. Okay, it's not quite the headband, but it's something. I guess that's some high praise. And we're doing this now. The curse, as she calls it. Yeah, I better dodge those beams like your life depends on it, because it does. Just get the headband. You have literally one job. Well, I guess two if you count not dying. And yes, she got it. Good job, Tanya. I knew you could do it. Now, hopefully somebody catches her next. Yeah, they're ready. And, yeah, just good job. And she actually landed right back on it like she's supposed to. Was Amelia slightly glowing there, or was that just my imagination? But, anyway. So we get to go home now? Well, I guess that answers that question. So he did say that. I pointed out that he said that. You should have really realized that. We're in no hurry. We weren't making much progress on that anyway. Of course you don't. Why do they translate it like that? It's all part of BNX's divine plan. It doesn't, does it? Of course you did, because you're smart. Well, yeah, that's nice. Every day is fun in a slice of life anime. You know, nobody getting murdered brutally. It's great. I'd say this world's pretty great. Amazing. Really. Oh. Transfer students, more cast members. Who are we talking here? Oh, we're gonna actually get to see them? Oh no, we're not. How dare you troll me like that? That's not cool, but season 2. We'll have to wait till season 2. So that's fine. I can wait. So, what other characters would I like to see that we haven't seen yet? We already got Union and Felt in the other classes, so who else would be ones that I would want to see? I'm gonna think about that. We already had the Pleiadius Maids from Overlord. Nobody else from Yojo Senki I would really care about. Trying to think. ReZero, I think we already got all the characters I care about. Well, not really. There is the I can't remember her name, but another one of the candidates that coordinated with Subaru for the whale destruction mission. That girl whose name escapes me. I wouldn't mind seeing her in here. That would be cool. Let's see what else. Anybody Konosuba? Oh, Wiz. Of course, Wiz. I would like to see show up. That is kind of silly. But who else? The cat from Konosuba, I guess, would be nice. A little bit too close there. And, yeah, Season 2 coming soon. I mean, they already heavily implied Season 2 was coming at the end of this. By the little transfer student fake out, that was heavily implying there'd be a Season 2, but I am glad I actually get a full-on confirmation on screen. That does make me feel better. And they do include the word coming soon, so that's important as well. It's definitely important as well. So anyway, yeah, great news, of course. So that was the 12th and final episode of Isekai Quartet, at least the first season. Now, this episode was really cool. Pretty epic battle, I would say. Of course, Kazuma's group got the short end of the stick with having to take on the Destroyer. But, you know, it's nothing they can't handle. Between Ainz and Tanya, it's a lot of magical power there. And of course, Subaru's got a little bit of magic of his own. The whole return by death thing, which he can't actually come back to life, but he can invoke the, you know, a little bit of it, the thing that attracts mob beasts to him, that he can do that, which I guess works on the undead as well, which, I mean, we already knew that because of the Death Knight a few episodes ago, so just kind of use him as a shield to block the energy blast, so pretty smart thinking if that was intentional, and I assume it is. Subaru's a pretty smart guy like that. But it just was really cool because Ainz just like throws them in the air. You had Subaru dropping over there, and then he had, you know, Kazuma just kind of launching Tanya up in the air to actually get the headband, and you have Kazuma stealing the screw. You can't actually like steal the headband, or you can't steal much of anything really. He tried to steal a few ability. He tried to steal ability a few times and it didn't get anything, nothing of value. But he got something there. He got the screw, and a single screw can definitely mess something up if you grab the right one. So, and it seems like he did, so that's all good. And Tanya got the headband, came back down, landed back on her horse, and that concluded that. So yeah, great job, Tanya. Great job, team. It was a team effort. Everyone participated there. Even though Tanya grabbed the headband at the end, everyone was a very important part of the group. It's easy to focus on the person that gets the actual spotlight position, but gotta remember, they all did their part. Definitely, they all did their part. Which is so silly seeing the Destroyer wearing the headband, though. Very, very silly. And I love Tanya just always just blaming BNX for everything. You could easily make memes out of that. You know, like that one old meme, like thanks Obama or something like that. I feel like Tanya can kind of does that with BNX, just like everything's his fault at the end of the day. So it's great. Even though BNX hasn't really been in this at all, I don't think, in any capacity, beyond Tanya just bringing him up and accusing people of being BNX. Like, hey, Ians, you're totally BNX. Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, Aqua, you're totally BNX. What? No, I'm not. So we had a little bit of that. But aside from that, didn't really have any relevance in this season, this series so far. And they definitely teased us with transfer students later on. I don't know how many we're talking there, because I listed a couple people that I would like to see as transfer students. You know, Wiz and one girl from ReZero. I can't remember her name. Just I liked her, so I should remember her name. But it's been a while since I've watched ReZero, to be honest. So I guess that's probably my excuse for that. But those are a couple people that I would like to see as transfer students. Let's see who else. Just gonna think about that. I mean, Overlord has plenty of characters, but we already have a lot of Overlord characters. A lot more than like Konosuba characters. So I would rather get more characters from shows that haven't been as represented like that. Because Overlord has, you know, Ainz, it has Nazarick, which includes the Pleiadius Maids and the Flora Guardians. I mean, Pleiadius Maids are a different class, from, you know, mind you, but they're still already here. So I feel like there's just a lot of Overlord characters. And most Studio Seiki characters I just don't remember or care about, really. A lot of them are just kind of faceless soldiers for the most part, like with a few exceptions. So there's not really anybody from that show I would like to get in here, to be honest. But in Konosuba, I guess doesn't really have a whole lot of characters I want to see either that aren't already here. Like, I know Kazuma had a couple friends or whatever from like the guild or whatever that he like went to the succubus area with or because of them. But aside from Wiz, I don't really, and maybe the cat, I don't really see any other Konosuba characters I'd want to come over. I guess aside from, well, never mind, I guess I can't really say that. But who else would I want from Konosuba? Is there anybody else? Just trying to think. I mean, there was that nice lady from the hot spring in season 2 that was with the slime guy. I guess I wouldn't mind seeing some of her, even though I know basically nothing about her. But I liked what I saw of her, you know. But, yeah, I mean, Konosuba really doesn't have that many important characters, really. So, yeah, I guess I got nothing besides what I said there. And ReZero has plenty of characters, but again, nobody really was attached enough to really want to come over beyond the one that I mentioned. Yeah, I can't think of anything else really off the top of my head. I mean, I guess I might if I look through character lists and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So, what about my thoughts about the show overall? Now, when I first heard about this anime, it seemed pretty mind-blowing, the whole concept of, hey, characters from these 4 different anime all coming together in one universe. It's pretty crazy. You know, kind of a bit of an Avengers thing, so you can almost say. So, yeah, once you have a premise like that, you know things are going to get pretty exciting. And it's a lot of these anime are some of my favorite anime, like Overlord and Konosuba and ReZero, all 3 of which are like very high up on my favorite anime list. So them all coming together was great. Although just getting any more of those shows at all was great. Like, it's been a while since I've gotten any new ReZero content or Konosuba content. I mean, Overlord, we've pretty much been pretty good on that. Like season 2, season 3. I feel like I've gotten my fill of Overlord for the most part, so I could have taken or left that. But getting more ReZero and Konosuba was just great. And them actually interacting with each other is just the craziest thing about it. Of course, you know, characters like Rem and Shaltir, or Rem and Albedo, like, or yeah, it was Albedo that became friends with Rem, like in that one episode. Something like that. Those characters like talking to each other. I never really thought I would ever see something like that outside of like a crossover doujinshi or something. But to actually see this in like an actual anime with the actual voice actors, and just it's really incredible that could even exist, you know. So obviously it would probably be a little bit better if it wasn't in the chibi art style. but that would also make it more difficult to do for several reasons. You know, the clash in art styles for one, because these shows do have very different art styles. But when you chibi-fy everything, that brings everything to more kind of a common ground. So that, and also it's easier and less expensive to animate when you do that. Even though a lot of the budget is spent on the voice actors, so I don't know how much of a difference that makes. But the clash in art style, I think, would be the biggest problem. Really. So I think it probably is for the best that it's in the chibi art style, but it would have been more impactful to me if all the characters did look like they did in their main series, you know. But I'm definitely fine with the chibi though. I'm just saying that I think it would have brought another element to it if they could have somehow made that work. Now, of course, we had a lot of fun interactions throughout the show. Some very interesting friendships develop, like Tanya becoming good friends with Ainz. Like, that was even reinforced in this episode. You know, some bits between the two of them. Like, they got pretty close, pretty good friends, which makes a lot of sense. They were both like, I mean, they were both isekai into a fantasy world and then got a very different form as a result. So they have a lot in common, you know, because of that. And but then that was one of them. But there was also what else was there? Oh yeah, Subaru and Kazuma also became pretty good friends for the most part because they also have a lot in common. You know, they may have different disagreements on about who's had it worse because Subaru did get to live like in this big mansion with maids and stuff that love him and all that. So and you know, even in the previous episode, Subaru had like Rem and Emilia giving, you know, heartfelt encouragement to him and all that. Then you had Kazuma with Megumi in darkness and Aqua and pretty much not doing that, just being a little bit more harsh and all that. So yeah, I can definitely see from Kazuma's perspective. I almost call him Kuzuma, my bad. But anyway, I can see from Kazuma's perspective that Subaru probably had it better off, but that's only because literally nobody knows the trouble I've seen in regards to, you know, Subaru. Like, he's went through a lot of horribleness that nobody knows about, which was brought up in this episode because he literally can't tell people about it. So it kind of sucks being Subaru because he can't even argue with Kazuma. Like, no, trust me, I've had a worse life than you. Really? How so? Well, you see, I died. You know what? Never mind. Yeah, sure, whatever. You had a worse life, I guess. Like, Subaru can't even argue that, which really sucks for him. So being Subaru is suffering as usual. But he does have Emilia and Rem in his life, so that might balance out. Who knows? Let's see, what other friendships would I like to talk about? Were there any real friendships beyond that developed? I mean, Rem and Sheltier are both on the nurse squad, but they didn't really talk much. I think the most interaction we got was Sheltier being a little bit jealous of Rem's assets, which you know, makes sense, of course. But let's see, any other friendships we really got? I'm trying to think throughout the show. I really wanted to get some conversation between Emilia and Megumi because of the same voice actress, but we didn't really get that, I don't think, which is a bit disappointing, but maybe season 2. That just seemed like such low-hanging fruit to really do, like to develop some kind of friendship between the two of them. But they opted not to do it for some reason, and I don't really get why, but it's their decision, I guess. I just would like to see that at some point. It's all I really wanted from this season, and we didn't get it, which is very, very disappointing. But I mean, we had a scene where Megumi and Ram both like worked together to really wreck Kazuma. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Kazuma. They worked together to really roast that one scene. So that was pretty good to see. It was either Kazuma or Subaru. I can't remember which it was, but one of them, the two of them worked together to roast him. So I want to say it was Kazuma though. So that was a little bit of something there, I guess. Let's see. I mean, we found out some similarities between characters like Sheltier and Eris, you know, the goddess. They both pad their bra, and that was a really funny scene. When the swimsuit store, when they talked about that was great. Aqua unknowingly completely just destroyed Sheltier. That was one of the favorite parts of the whole show. But yeah, I really can't think of any other friendships that really developed too much in the show. But anyway, the point is, even beyond just the friendships itself, just fun interactions at all. Which, like I said, interactions between Ainz and Aqua has been fun because Ainz is undead and Aqua does not like undead, not at all. That's why she dislikes Wiz so much in her own show. So that was always funny. She just wanted to exercise him, and he was always a little bit worried about that because of how powerful she is and all that. Sometimes like puts up his guard or whatever, his divine protection or holy protection. I don't want to call it divine protection because that's what Reinhardt has, but he has some like holy magic resistance thing that he can put up when he's nervous that Aqua might do something. So that was always a funny little dynamic there. And Tanya, Aqua just kind of pissed off a lot of people throughout this show. You know, bumping heads with Ainz, and bumping heads with Ainz causes people like Albedo and Shaltier not to like her. But of course, they're both kind of undead as well, so that's another reason for Aqua to not like them at all. And then obviously the stuff in the bra roasting that she did made Shaltier hate her even more, to the point where she made sure to remember her name. Like, oh, your name's Aqua, right? I'll be sure to remember that. And then she bumped heads with Tanya because she pointed out that she was a goddess, and Tanya is kind of Tanya's trigger word, you know, god or goddess. And she thought that maybe she could have been being X, and that was another really great scene, one of my favorites of the whole show, when she was just hiding and scared. She was so happy for a second that somebody actually believed she was a goddess, and then when that turned around, she got all scared and stuff, and then like started to vent towards Cosmo at the end when that was all over. It's like somebody finally believed I was a goddess, and then they got mad at me and yelled at me, and it was so horrible. It's just, I would do love when Aqua gets into that whiny little mode that she does. Just, I don't know why, I like it so much. That's when Aqua's at her best. But yeah, just everybody just fighting with Aqua in this show, it seems like. Let's see, what else? Well, Tanya just kind of wandered around trying to figure, because Tanya always believed that BNX was behind this, so she was just going to try to figure out who that was. And she never did, because I don't think BNX is one of the students. I think that's safe to say. It kind of is hard to talk about what all the characters did because there's just so many of them, you know. But the show, I know, showed us fun little interactions like that. Some characters got much greater time than others. Darkness had a lot of great scenes, of course, because, well, Darkness always has great scenes. That should surprise nobody. Especially with Weiss, I think it was, when she wanted him to help her with her act or whatever, and talked about how he whips her or whatever she said, and everyone just kind of started looking at him like he was scum and all that, even though he did nothing wrong. Darkness had a lot of fun scenes throughout the show. He even got tied up on the rope during the field day thing. Oh yeah, the push-ups. Can't forget those Darkness push-ups. I don't think anyone's gonna forget those Darkness push-ups. But, oh yeah, Tanya also became friends with Demiurge as well. That was a thing, wasn't it? Because they were both on the disciplinary committee, and they both kind of worked together to bully poor Kazuma. So that was a thing as well. But that was still kind of a branch off from the Ainz connection, really. But yeah, I do think Tanya and Ainz probably was like the strongest friendship built out through this series. So definitely the one that stuck with me the most. In fact, so much so that it almost feels canon to me. I know it's not. None of this is canon, of course, but just, I don't know. I think if I'm going to really remember that, like even during the next season of Overlord, whenever that happens, I'm probably going to think of, yeah, that's Ainz. That's Tanya's best friend. So it's kind of funny. And the longer the series goes on, the more canon it's going to feel to me, the more it's going to stick into my head. So that's a little bit of a problem with this show, but it's not a big deal. I get it, really, at all. But I do want to believe this is canon, kind of, but it's not. It would make no sense. It would be almost impossible to write this in a way to make it canon. But it's funny to think about, though. Like, could you just imagine Ainz and Overlord just saying, they're like, you know, I kind of miss Tanya. Our adventures together were just so fun back in that slice of life world. That would be pretty funny. But no, that would, of course, never happen. I probably lose my mind if they actually did reference the Isekai Quartet in one of the other anime. That'd be pretty crazy, really. But again, it's not going to happen. See, anything else really say about this show? I mean, I loved it. Even though it may not have given me all the things I necessarily wanted from it, I still loved it thoroughly. It was just very enjoyable to see all these characters that I love interacting with other characters that I love that I never thought would a million years would ever interact with each other. That was always the best thing about this show, is that every episode just felt very special and unique just because of the concept is just so special, you know. So, yeah, I'm really glad that there's going to be a second season. It said soon. I don't know what that means. It's not going to be summer season, of course, but I wonder when. Hopefully soon means soon and not like Valve time soon. But yeah, I would love to see more. I look forward to seeing who the transfer students will be. Hopefully, you know, Wiz is one of them, which I'm almost sure they will be. It was always weird to me that Wiz wasn't brought in as the initial batch, because Wiz was great and there's plenty of comedy potential with Wiz. Definitely. So she has to be one of the transfer students. I mean, she wasn't even included in the second class too. At least I don't think she was. I didn't see her. If she was, let me know, of course. But I don't think she was in class 2. So yeah, Wiz definitely has to be brought over as part of the transfer students. That's gotta be a no-brainer. And hopefully in season 2 we have Amelia and Megumin interacting with each other. That's also a thing that I would like, definitely. And yeah, just hopefully season 2's amazing whenever it shows up, and hopefully it shows up soon. That's that. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.